Melissa Prendergast here, CEO and lead designer for Bella Sunshine Designs. Now I know blending sometimes can be a little scary. When you see all those diagrams, it just looks confusing. Don't worry. I created this fun video to show you what to do to get the perfect fit every single time. For the purpose of this tutorial, you're going to need a ruler, something to write with, and a French curve. This is mine. It's an antique. Yours might look a little bit different. With the Josephine, there's also this princess scene here, as you can see. Now, that looks like it's going to be super confusing to blend, but it's actually really easy because you don't have to blend the princess seam the way these are nested. So let's go ahead and start with the shoulder. That tends to be the thing that trips most people up the most, but it's actually pretty simple. So for this pattern, we're going to do the chest of an 18-month, the waist of a 2T, and the hips and height of a 3. Now, to start the shoulder, you're going to take this point of the 18-month, and we're going to bring this all the way up to the 3T. We're going to then follow this shoulder line because we want to keep this edge. Make a line here, and we're going to do the same thing here for this neckline. Make sure your lines are straight up and down. Now, if you think of this kind of as connect the dots, that'll be a little bit easier for you. Basically, you have a shoulder point here, you have a shoulder point here, and then I like to blend this into the notch here. So, and then you also have a point here at your front neckline. Now, this needs to stay a right angle. You're going to use this 3 length line because otherwise your neckline will be way too low. And we're going to just blend all of this with our French curve. Super simple. Drawing that new line thick so you can see it. Going to keep that curve point, and then you're also going to blend this in to your notch. So that gives you the width of an 18-month. As you see, just bring that straight up with the length with the 3. And then you're going to follow this straight down. Now for the princess seam, like I said, you don't need to do any kind of blending here. You just need to make sure that you select the same lines. So I recommend going with the chest line. Even if you have a different waist, different hips, don't worry about that. Just go with the chest line. So for this is going to be the 18-month. I'm going to just follow that pattern marking all the way. And then we want to lengthen it here at the 3. So you're just going to go straight down to the 3. That gives you that 3 length. And then for this other pattern piece here, which is the other side of this bodice, you're going to do the same thing. So we have 18 here. We're going to do 18 here. All the way down to the 3. You'll have to kind of bring the 3 over because the 3 is further in. And then this 18-month is still the chest. So we have this point here. We're going to just continue on with that curve. Now, for this particular pattern, we also need to blend the waist and the hips. So we have a waist of a 2. Now, you'll see on here, we have our waist markings. There's an easy way to do this, and there's a very accurate way to do this. The easy way would just to be to blend this out to the 2, about where the waist is, and blend it down to your 3 hip. But we want to be super accurate, right? That's the whole point. So what we want to do is, because this is the 3 length, see this 3 marking here on the waist? We're going to go with this waistline here of the 3. And then where it intersects with the 2 is going to be our new point. So we have a point there. The hip on this pattern is at the very bottom of the pattern. So that's going to be a 3 here. This point is the hip. So we just want to blend all of this stuff together. You're going to have to kind of move your ruler around to change everything. times to blend it out. So you can see this goes from 18 chest to 2 waist and length and 3 length, all the way to 3 hip. And then you're going to bring that hip line down to whatever your length line. On this one, it happens to be a 3 hip with a 3 length. This is my daughter's measurement. But even if you had a 2 here with a 3 length, you would just do it just the same. You would just go to the 2 line and then bring it down. And there you go, super simple. You're gonna blend the bodice the exact same way, except for you're gonna blend the lining the exact same way, except for you won't have these princess lines here. Now, I do recommend, because you want all of these side seams to perfectly match, save yourself the trouble and just blend this once, cut it out, and then you can actually take it on another pattern and just trace it. Follow, align your points, your 18 with 18, your 3 with a 3, and then just trace it, and then you'll know that your side seams will be completely perfect on all of your pattern pieces. So that is super, super simple. Now the next thing we need to worry about is this cap sleeve. Now the cap sleeve, you're gonna wanna think about your chest versus your length. This bottom line is all the same for all sizes, because this is where it's nested. The length, here on the top of the cap, you're gonna take your 3, and then you want your chest here where your notches are. And then again here at your end points, you want your chest size. So this is 18, we're gonna stay on that interior line. Yours may not be interior, it's gonna be whatever your chest line is. We're gonna keep this 18 line the same, 18 line the same. And the only thing we're going to blend here is going to be this cap. So that just gives us a little bit more length and a little bit more height on the cap. And then also, now because this is a cap sleeve, there's not necessarily, I can't get my ruler here, just because I have the camera set up. Hopefully you'll do a better job blending. That line looks a little funky, but so if you had a regular sleeve and let's say it came down at different sizes, different lengths, what you would do is you would just go to that length line and you continue that down. So you would use your chest with your length. In this case, it's all the same lines. That makes it pretty easy. That should be it for the bodice and the sleeve. Next thing is going to be the skirt. Skirt is, again, a really easy blend. This is probably the easiest blending you can possibly do. Now on this particular skirt, I actually don't need to blend it, because if you remember from our previous pattern pieces, over here, this ended at a 3 hip, which is also the same length. So because this is a hip measurement, you would just do 3 width here and with your 3 lengths. So this one, the only pattern piece I'm gonna need is just gonna be the 3. I'm just gonna cut that out and it will match perfectly. Same ruffle ratio as what you see on our website. However, let's say, for example, that you had maybe a 2 hip versus a 3 and you needed that 2 to be a 3. All you're gonna do is you're gonna take whatever your width is of your hip and you're gonna bring it down or up to your length line. Same with if you're using the cutting chart, you would just take the width of whatever your hips are, or if it's a different pattern that ends higher, it would be your waist. In this pattern, it's your hips. You would take your width and then use that measurement and combine it with the length measurement of the size that you need for length. And that's it. Should be pretty easy. You did it. You blended a pattern. See, wasn't it much easier than what you thought? Now you can get that perfect fit you've been dreaming of. Till next time.